Good afternoon on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday the 14th of April and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. What I've got in here is a copy of Runecairn Wardensaga by Odin's Beard RPG. So, Wardensaga. Runecairn is a Norse fantasy role-playing game inspired by Cairn, Knave, and Into the Odd, both retro clones or retro clone-inspired role-playing games with very stripped-down mechanics. Slay fearsome creatures, delve into crumbling ruins, and navigate an untamed wilderness. Contains everything you need to run a Runecairn game with one warden and one or more adventurers. Includes advanced rules with 2 new starting classes, Berserker and Pyre, Oracle for solo play, Delve Generator, Allies, and Invasions. Collects the Runecairn Core Rules, Introductory Dungeon Crawl, Beneath the Broken Sword, and Runecairn Advanced Rules. So all of these elements have been available previously, and I was looking to review Runecairn when the publisher kindly provided me with a copy to review. So, let's have a look. There we go. Basically the credits page and the contents page, and then we get on to part 1, the core rules, and there's the image from the front cover of the core rules. It also appears on the back cover, and we have an overview describing essentially what is Runecairn, what's its design philosophy, and what are its potential adventures. So then we step on to the next stage course. Having looked at its design philosophy, which is essentially neutrality, classless, it does involve death, fiction first, so dice do not always reflect an obstacle's difficulty or its outcome. Growth, basically adventure is changed through play, player choice, and principles. What are those principles? The principles are covered here for the Warden, which includes providing information, setting difficulty, preparing, having a narrative focus, making sure there's danger, and giving choice and allowing for the die of fate. Okay, principles for the player are that the player has agency, engages in exploration and talking, exercises caution, leans into planning, but has ambition. So, that's what it takes to play Runecairn and also to run Runecairn. And I absolutely really like that kind of setting out the statement of, well, what is this role-playing game about, and what do you need to run and play it in terms of thought and concept. And then we have principles of the world too. So you've got the 9 realms, the gods, the titans, bonfires, secrets, magic, defeat, death, and the Viking Age. So everything there, just those 3 pages to give you all that you need. You have some idea of what the game is about. The character generation, it's nicely confined to a single page, so it's really accessible. And then we have a similar thing, for each of the classes. So we've got warrior, scout, seer, and then we have the adventurer creation example. Again, limiting this all to 1 page. That's a nice design philosophy. Keep things simple, straightforward. Don't make it complicated for the reader to engage with. And there we have the end product of the sample player character. And then I'll be talking about the concepts of play. So we literally got the principles of play and the concepts of play. So this is actually more looking at the kind of the mechanics. So it's not really talking about the concepts of play, it's the mechanics. Because I think the principles and the concepts are sort of like you're kind of going, isn't this all getting a bit conceptual or, principled, as it were? You get the impression that they're kind of overdoing it with that, where it could have just been, here are the rules of play. But this extends a little bit further, so you've got more than this single page, and that's fair. This is the core rules for the game. Items and equipment. and skills attached to those equipment, because a lot of it, this is focused location essentially on what you're wielding as much as what you can do. And this continues, you know, ordinary items as well. So there's quite a lot of items you can be picking up and using. Then we move on to combat and how that works. Again, nicely, cleanly, tidily presented. Looks to be like a couple of pages. You know, it does deal with things such as, you know, actions, reactions, attacking and damage, attack modifiers, and then, you know, blast attacks, ability score loss, that sort of thing. The chance of death, omens that come into play, you know, messages from the spirits or the land that can represent fortune or favour. When an attack reduces an adventurer's resilience to exactly 0, this triggers an omen. Roll a d8 on the omens table to determine the event and outcome. There we go, we've got a table of omens. And then, nice lengthy example of combat. Come back to that whole thing of, you know, you've had a presentation of the rules, so that's your tell the game master how the game works. Now show the game master how it works. We'll move on to magic. We're given a similar treatment with casting spells using relics or rings. We've got the spell list. So this is the seer spells and the skilled spells. We've got some flame rune spells there, nicely attached to sort of like, you know, a flaming image, as it were. Then with part 2, advanced rules. So we've got an overview of those rules, which cover, you know, the advanced classes, playing the game, playing Runecairn beyond 2 players, or solo play. You've got a delve generator as well. So the advanced classes, we've got the Berserker and the Pyre. Here are the rules for the solo play. Delve generator. That's 2-3 pages long. You've also got the set of encounters table. Several of those related to, you know, so cairn encounters, outpost encounters, ruins, villages, caves, stronghold encounters, depending upon what they involve, treasury, mystery, mundane, obstacle, or conflict. There we go. And then cooperation, which is dealing with summoning an ally, combat and healing with an ally, death and rebirth. And then before we move on to invasion, basically what might happen. And then beneath the broken sword, this is the scenario. So for introductory adventure, and, you know, possible, it even has its own table of omens, and ideas about what characters to involve, and so on. I've got some sample player characters there ready to throw into the mission. Here we've got the map of the dungeon. So it's not a particularly big location, but you have nicely detailed descriptions of each of the locations for each one, and then the monsters are nicely. I like that you're going through and you go, okay, room description, and then go monster, and that's highlighted in red. That's a nice touch, a nice use of spot color, just to make it stand out. So then the discussion possibly further into the 9 realms, and then we've got lastly the appendices. So this is whether your monsters are listed, several of those. And the thing is, with a retro clone like this, they're easily taken from other sources. options for your adventurers, including names, and then your physique, face, what you look like. You've got a pronunciation guide for your Norse saga, and of course at the last you've got the character sheet. So that's everything you need to play Runecairn, a Viking set, old school Renaissance adjacent role-playing game that you can play with 1 or 2 or more players. Really like the look of that. Look forward to giving that a good review. In the meantime, thanks for watching this unboxing in the Nook. If you enjoyed this unboxing, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case a little role-playing game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.